Okay, I'm recording now, so I'll stop talking about vomiting. You know, sometimes I joke and I'm like, we gotta stop swearing right now. That one was a real one. I really was just talking about vomiting. People at home, I'm sure you're very sad you missed it. Okay, this is 3.1. We're still doing 3.1. What did I write on the other ones? 3.1 day 1? So we'll say this day 2. And today is 12/2, December's. Yes. That would be important. Better? Just like, excuse me, and everybody else is like, it'll be fine. Just pay attention. All right, 3.1, day 2, we're talking about types of probability. Probability. All right, so there are 3 types of probability. Number 1 is called classical probability. Sometimes this is called theoretical. This is a probability that you can calculate without an experiment or data. Calculate's an important word there because there is math involved, but there is not necessarily like you doing any kind of study or asking people about anything. Can somebody tell me a probability that we could totally figure out right now without getting any data? A simple what's a simple probability that you could definitely figure out? Those number cubes, right? What are the chances of getting a 5 on a number cube? 1 out of 6, and I didn't have to roll some dice to figure that out and then like look at 1,000 rolls of dice and then calculate exactly what it would be. We just know there's 6 sides, right? And one of them is a 5. Everybody cool with this? Cool. All right, second thing is called empirical probability. Empirical is specifically a probability determined from data. So you go get some data, either from an experiment or a survey or something like that, and then you make predictions based on that data. Anybody think of a real life situation where we would, yeah?
Like surveying people who are going to vote for.
Yeah. Like political polls? Okay, like imagine if we have 2 candidates running for an office, or like let's say there are 2 candidates are running for presidency. It's not like we're like, okay, so the chances that this person would be president is 50%, and the chances this person would be 50%, and I know that because there's 2 people, and 1 out of 2 is 50%. Because one, I hope it's not going to be exactly 50-50, because then we're in trouble as a society trying to figure out what to do then. Can you imagine if it came down to the last person and we were all like, we're equally divided, right? Usually there's a majority one way or the other, and the way they figure that out is by going out and asking people and then finding out that percentage and then saying that that's probably going to happen in the election. That's empirical. Everybody okay with that? Cool. And the last one is called subjective probability. Anybody know what subjective probability is? Yeah?
It's sort of.
Good guess.
Sort of opinionated.
Opinionated, yeah. Subjective means that it's your opinion. Go ahead, say it again.
Like someone who's going to win a game.
Well, it depends. If you're saying, what are the chances of this team winning, and then you look at their win percentage in the past, and then say, and calculate it based on that, that's one thing. Or if you say, if you're just a fan and you're like, I think there's not a chance we're gonna win this one, or I think we're probably gonna win this one, that's just your opinion. And you are kind of like thinking about the past, right? But you're not using that number exactly. So if you say, look, I don't think that this team is going to beat this team because we've never beat them before, you're not actually pulling up numbers on your phone and being like, and out of the last 25 games, we've never beat them. You're just remembering and feeling it out. This is sometimes based in fact, sometimes not. It is an educated guess often. For example, weather reports. It's not like a meteorologist is, people are like, hey, do you think it's gonna be rainy or sunny today? And they're like, oh no, sunny. And they're just guessing, right? They have reasons why they're saying it's going to be sunny. They're looking at weather patterns. They're looking at all this information. But ultimately, what they're doing is they're making a very educated guess about what's going to happen. And are meteorologists always right? No, because it's a very educated guess. And some things we really have to be subjective about because we have no other option. We can't just be like, yeah, well, we've looked at every December 2nd for the past 45 years, and we found out that most of those were sunny, so we assume that it will be sunny today. Like, the way to do it is to look at weather patterns and figure out what's happening right now and then make a good guess about it. That's just how it has to be done. Okay, so now we're going to do some examples of stuff. First, we're going to start with an example of classical probability that you and your partner are going to do and get some prizes for. So let's start with that. I'm a big fan of this chapter. Hopefully you'll have fun with it eventually too. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to say some things right now, and we're going to see who can guess which one it is. So let's look back here. Classical, empirical, and subjective. I'm going to tell you a situation, and you raise your hand and tell me whether you think it's classical, empirical, or subjective, and your reason. Okay? And I'll give you a prize. Everybody cool with that? Cool. That was a marker. Where are my markers? No, that's white. Almost out of, I'm a winner science, just in case you guys are concerned about that. Okay, all right, so first one. The probability that you will get an A on your next test you think is about 90%. Which one is that? On the next test, you think that the probability of you getting an A is about 90%. Subjective. Good, Chris. It is subjective. Why is it subjective?
Because
It's an educated guess. It's not like you're looking at how you did on the test before, and it's not like you're just calculating on your calculator. If somebody says, hey, what do you think the chances are that you're going to pass the next test? No one is going, give me a moment. About 90%, I think. Like, you're just feeling it, right? You're kind of understanding yourself. All right. Are you upset because I didn't figure out who to pick? What was this? You threw up your hands.
Oh, I just got my pencil.
Okay. Sorry. This is what I see from you. Like, he seems upset. Apparently not. Okay. Come get a prize, Chris. All right. Next up, how about the probability that a voter that is chosen at random will be younger than 35 years old? So if there's a voter who's coming into a booth, I can say that the probability that they're younger than 35 is probably about 30%. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
Is this raising your hand? Is that what that is?
No.
No, but you're in 4, 5. Two.
I was distracted. Wasn't it? Is it classical?
No, that one's not classical. Okay, let's try again. Same people. Calculator really wants you to have it. 4.
3. Number 3.
Subjective?
No, empirical. That's number 2. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so why do you think it's
Number 2.
empirical?
Huh?
Why do you think it's empirical?
I don't know.
Should I just move on to somebody else?
Sure.
Okay, seems like you're randomly guessing. 5.
It's empirical because you're using